It's me again with my Afrika Corps. Today I want to show you what I try to achieve with my miniatures, how they should look in the end, and I will show you paint by paint what paints I use and which parts of the mini I paint with which paint. And to give you first hint what we want to achieve in the end, this is my test mini. It's just a normal rifleman. As you can see here, with a little bit of weathering and a first glimpse how the base looks on them. This is the state where I start painting the miniatures. I just glued it onto the base with some super glue and let it dry, so it's easier to paint it in the end. And as you will be seeing right now, the first step we will start with is painting the flesh. And as I said, paint by paint, I will show you the different steps I take on painting these minis. Okay. Alright, the first color I used, pretty messy as you can see here, but it doesn't matter in the beginning, is one of Games Workshop's colors. It's a good under base coat for flesh. It's Citadel base Buckman's Glow, pretty thick as most of the base colors of Citadel, and it will give us a nice base for our flesh to build up. Alright, the next step I took was to wash the base color. As you can already see, the wash itself darkened it down a fair bit, but we will brighten it up later with the different layers we put on the flesh. And as wash, I also used the Citadel product. It's Raglan Flesh Shade. I really can recommend all the shades, especially 9 Oil, Agrex Earth Shade, this shade, and also the Seraphim Sepia. Really like them a lot. And yeah. Alright, here we have the first highlight of flesh. The flesh of the soldier. As you can see, it looks a little bit comedic, but we will temper it further down in the next steps. Give some nice depth on the face itself. The first color I used on that is Citadel Cadian Flesh Tone. Good layer, good color to brighten the first step up. Next step will be one further layer of flesh tone, and I will show you that. So next step, just a little, and from far you can already see, gives a nice depth, gives a nice look. And when we look a little further, you can see that I only use that color on the furthermost edges of the mini, like on the knuckles, the nose, a little bit around the harder edges on the face. And another Citadel color, it's layer Kislev Flesh. As you can already see, a little lighter, gives some nice definition. And And yeah, I'm not really into painting every tooth, and especially not into painting eyes, because most of the time it looks really more comedic, comedy style than it looks nice. So I nearly always decide against it, and I will keep it that way. The next parts I will be painting will be going from down to the upper side, and we will commence with the boots. Alright, I now painted all the leather parts. As you can see here, there's a strap on the rifle and the boots of the soldier. The color I used is 70872 chocolate brown from the normal Vallejo model color line. It gives us a nice base color for all the leather parts. One thing I want to mention right now is that for most parts on these soldiers I will be using the Seraphim sepia shade. These parts could alternatively be shaded with Agrix Earth shade, also from the Citadel line, but as you could see on the test mini, also Seraphim sepia worked out pretty fine, because it's a little lighter than the Agrix Earth shade, which is pretty dark in the end. And as it's already a pretty dark base coat for leather, or base color for leather, yeah, Agrix Earth shade can work, but doesn't give that much of effect. So Seraphim sepia is absolutely enough for it, as we will be using it on all the other parts of the mini. Alright, next thing I will be painting is the jacket and the straps around the down here. Don't know, can't think of the English word right now, but you guys know what I mean. It's this thing above the boots, and yeah, I will be back with that part soon. Alright guys, I finished painting the jacket and the straps around the ankle. As you can see here, I think it's a really nice color for the Afrika Corps, for all the green parts. You can also differ here a little bit. You don't have to paint the trousers in a more sand-like khaki style color. You can also use this greenish color on the trousers, and also for some variety you could also paint his jacket in a khaki color. This green color I used is 70881, yellow green from the basic model color Vallejo line. Yeah, gives a nice touch, and together with the wash and further highlights, yeah, I think it really gives a nice result, as you already could see in the beginning of the video. I will now start or commence with the trousers, and yeah, that will be the next step. So the next part, I just painted the trousers and the carrying mechanism or stuff. In German it's Koppel, in a sand-like color, because the Afrika Corps wasn't only using the black leather couples or gear, but also some khaki sand color out of wool or something like that, and I just want to give some variety on my soldiers. The color I used for that is Citadel base Zenry Dust, because I think it's really a good khaki sand color, to show those colors. We will further highlight it after everything got the wash with Seraphim Sepia, but that is a little more in the future. I will now paint the red bag and the just can't remember the English word right now again. Some parts I will paint with some kind of brown color, and you will be seeing how that will look on the miniature. So, as you can see, I painted the wooden parts, hand grenade and rifle, and also the leather straps on the flask, on the blanket, also holding the hand grenade, and one part I forgot, the strap on the helmet. Right, the color I used for the wooden parts is Citadel base Mornfang Brown. I think it gives a real nice color for all the wooden parts. We will highlight that further. So the next part I painted just a little part. It's the cups and the upper parts of the flasks, and also the detonating part of the hand grenade. The color I used this time, Vallejo 70890 reflective green. Just a short hint, this color I think also works for tank camo on German tanks with the green. Nice color, gives a nice base for further highlighting, and the next part I will be painting are the steel helmet, the ammunition container, and the container for the gas mask. Alright, the next part, as already mentioned, I painted the steel helmet, the ammunitions container, and the gas mask container. The color I used, already shown a few times, is buff. This is the color when it's dry, as you can already see here. Gives a nice sandy color. It fits with the base itself. We will also wash this and then further weather it with color that got removed by laying down the helmet on stones or whatever. We will be doing some scraps on all those things later on. The next step and the last step before I apply the wash to the mini is the ammo pouches on the front, and I will be painting them right now. Alright, short and easy ammo pouches in black. I used Vallejo 70950 black, plain and simple. We will also be highlighting it after the wash, which will be the next step. Alright, Now I have applied the wash. You have to be careful that you don't spill it on any of the fleshy parts, because we already painted that. Yeah, as you can see, got pretty good into all the recesses. I like to use it a little messy, so the recesses really get a dark tone, a little bit more of the wash, and yeah, gives some nice definition later on. We will now brighten up all the parts we just washed, and I will beginning with the jacket, after that the trousers, and then the little parts on the back, and we will also finish the rifle later on. Alright, as you already know, the wash I chose is Seraphim Sepia, also from Citadel. The whole shade line is really good, so I really recommend using that. Right, you will be seeing how it works in the next parts. Alright guys, after the wash I re-highlighted all the parts that I washed with Seraphim Sepia with its original color. Yeah, helmet, MG box, ammunition box with, and the gas mask canister with buff, yellow green for the jacket, Zenry dust for the trousers, and you see, yeah, brings back the original color with some nice depth in the recesses. Also back here I used all the original colors I told you in the steps before. One further step I took was painting the metal parts, in this case the gun barrel on the rifle. Yeah, normally on all my last miniatures I used a metal color from Citadel, I think gunmetal, yeah, whatever it's called. This time I choose another color, and this is 70862 black gray as a base color, and I will further highlight it with yeah, a lighter gray. The pale gray I used in the base tutorial was also used to bring up the teeth. It looks much better with this, I think. Yeah, the final steps, and I will now also do them all after another, will be the final highlights on the trousers and all the parts. Yeah, I will be only highlighting the trousers, the jacket, the flasks a little bit, and also the wooden parts, the helmet and the ammo box and the gas mask canister will be staying like this, and only will get some yeah, scraped off color with weathering. I will apply some brownish color with a sponge, and I will be showing you which color I used also. Alright. Alright, the final steps of painting this Deutsches Afrika Korps infantryman. As you can see, I've already put on the final highlights and the, yeah, I call it weathering. Yeah, I used a really light color on the trousers, and also mixed that color with the yellow green, basically 1-to-1. Yeah, to further highlight the jacket. The color I used is Citadel Layer Ushabti Bone, just because I had that color, and I thought it, when you water it down a little, it really blends in very well. So yeah, your choice if it's okay. You could easily use any other lighter color. I like my contrast to be a little yeah, harsher. Also on the rifle and on the water flasks and the bread bag, mainly the linen and the wooden parts, I used Citadel base XV88. Yeah, also think gives a nice definition, nice color. The highlight on the metal parts, as you can see here, is also a Citadel color. I have many of those paints because I also have a 40k army, which I don't play at the moment, but yeah, when I restarted painting miniatures a few years ago, the first step was to reinvent my 40k army, and I bought lots of Citadel colors. The color itself, as you already see, is Citadel layered Dawnstone. Yeah, gives, I think, good highlight for the metal parts. And for the scrapes on the helmet and the ammo box and the gas mask canister, I didn't do them with a sponge, like I said a few moments before. I painted them with a really fine brush, and yeah, this is the absolute go-to color for me for every yeah, part where you wanna scrap some paint of the models or to show those weathering styles. It's Citadel base, Rhinoxide, really good color, nice and dark, and for me fits perfectly, as you can see here. I will also be using that on one of my next videos where I build Panzerjäger 1, and I will also use that color for yeah, the scraping. Alright, the last thing to do right now is, now we can glue on the tufts. I will just do that, show you how the final figure is done, looks. Yeah, and then the painting project of the DAK Infantry is completed. Alright, there we have it. I put on the tufts, and yeah, I think looks really, really good. Perhaps I should buy one of those rotating plates to show it better. Yeah, I'm just getting into all this video making, so in the future expect some improvements, but I think really looks good. It looks fine, and yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this painting part, and the next project you will be seeing in a short time will be the Panzerjäger 1. Alright, enjoy and see you soon. Yeah, one last thing I wanted to mention, just came to my mind. As you can see, the desert base looks okay, looks good for me. And we also have Ken from the Eccentric Man YouTube channel, who also did his 8th Army bases in this style. And yeah, thanks for saying, everyone, that you did and that you got inspired by us. So thanks again for that, and we will see you in November, Ken. Bye. I forgot to mention is the seal and varnish I use, and that's a recommendation from Jan. I will show you on this model because the other model is in the drying process right now. he uses, and I also now use this AK Interactive Ultra Matte Varnish AK-183. It really gives yeah, a super matte, ultra matte effect. Really makes the miniature look very dry, which is perfect for the desert, I think. Yeah, so this really is it. See you soon. Enjoy, and yeah, have a good time.